Hello YouTube. I am going to be learning Xaml Islands using the Windows Presentation Foundation and C#, and I thought I would record this video in the process. As a learning resource, I'm going to be using a web page from Microsoft entitled Windows XAML Host Control for Windows Forms and WPF. On that web page, you're going to find three exercises. The first, add a Windows XAML host control, and the second, initialize UWP controls first, and then assign them to Windows host control, and finally, add a custom UWP control. The last exercise is the one that I'm going to complete in this video. I'm going to be creating 5 artifacts. A Visual Studio solution entitled Test WPF App, a WPF.NET Framework project using C# entitled Test WPF App, a UWP class library entitled UWP Class Library, a UWP blank page entitled My Page, and a Windows application package entitled Build WAP. The names are important because the names that I am using are the same names that Microsoft will be using in the exercise. Here's a list of specific software that I'm going to be using to build the application. Okay, let's get started. First, I'm going to create a WPF.NET Framework project. I'm going to click Next. And the name of the project will be Test WPF App. And the solution will be named the same. Okay, I'm going to click XAML. I'm going to click the main window.xaml.cs file. I'm going to remove the unnecessary using statements. I'm going to set up the debug configuration for the laptop that I'm using. Okay, next I'm going to add 2 NuGet packages. Okay, the first package will be Microsoft.windows.stk.contracts. Okay, and the next file package will be the Microsoft Toolkit.wpf.ui.xaml host. Okay, and let's verify that they were added. Okay. So I'm going to close this window. And I'm going to right click on solution. We're going to add a new project. Select Windows Application Packaging Project. Click Next. And we're going to name the project Build UWP. Click Create. The minimum version, I'm going to set it as 1903, and the target version will be the same. Click OK. I'm going to close this window. I'm going to click Save here to save the changes where I removed the namespaces. I'm going to right-click on the build package, and I'm going to set it as the startup project. I'm going to right-click on Applications and add a reference to the WPF project and click OK. I'm going to build the solution just to check for any errors. Okay, the build succeeded, no errors, no warnings. Okay, so next I'm going to add the class library. So on solutions, right click and go down and I'm going to add a new project. And I'm going to search for class C#. Okay, I'm going to come down and select class library universal windows and click next. I'm going to name the class library UWP class library. Click create. And as before, I'm going to set the minimum version to 1903. And the target will remain the same. Click OK. I'm going to collapse the references and I'm going to delete this class1.cs because I'm not going to use it. Okay. I'm going to click on the UWP class library, right click and select add. We're going to add a blank page. And we're going to call that blank page My Page. Get rid of the 1. Okay, mypage.xaml. And I'm going to click add. Okay. So next, we're going to unload the class library project. So right click on the UWP class library. And select unload project. Click save. Right click on the class library project again, and this time select edit. Okay, I'm going to do a find by pressing Control F. And I'm going to type in C#. And that should take you down near the bottom. We're going to insert some code and make certain that this says C# dot targets. We're going to insert some code before the import statement. And you can get this code out of the web page that I mentioned earlier. Okay, go down after the import statement, press enter, and we're going to insert some more code. Okay, go to the line that says your WPF project name. We're going to insert the name of the project. So that's test WPF app. Okay, also note, with the code that we inserted, note these 4 copy statements. Okay, so what are we going to do next? Well, let's save it. And I'm going to close it. And right click on the UWP class library project. And we're going to reload it. Okay. Now right click on the UWP class library project once again. And we're going to build. Build succeeded, no errors, no warnings. We're going to verify that the source and the build output files were copied to the WPF folders. So we're going to go to the WPF project. And we're going to click the Show All Files buttons. And come down to where it says UWP class library. This is the result of the X copies that I pointed to you earlier. Okay, I want you to right click and we're going to select Include in Project. And notice the color of the folder changed. Okay, so now we're going to deselect these files by clicking Show All Files. Okay. Now we're going to build a solution just to check to make sure everything's still fine. Okay, did I miss something? Let me go back and do that again. I'm sorry. I think I missed something here. Okay, build succeeded. No errors, no warnings. Okay, to keep the WPF application in sync with future changes to the UWP class library, we need to add a build dependency. So we're going to come over and we're going to right click on the WPF project. And come down and select build dependencies and then project dependencies. So now we're going to add a project dependency so that the WPF application depends on the UWP class library. Check it and click OK. Okay, next we're going to bind the data from the desktop application to a field that we're going to insert into the custom control. So we're going to come down to the My Page XAML CS and select it. And I'm going to remove the unnecessary using statements. And I'm going to insert a public field above the constructor. Okay, this is the field that's going to be used for binding. I also need to add the control that's going to be associated with this field. So next we're going to click on the XAML that's associated with the code behind. Click XAML. And we're going to insert it in between the grid statements. Okay, and click Save. Okay. Let's build the class library. Okay, the build succeeded. No errors, no warnings. Okay, next we're going to go to the main window.xaml, and we're going to set this up for Xaml Islands. So first, we're going to get the statement that sets up the namespace for the toolkit WPF UI XAML host. What happened? Why? Let me go back in. I'm going to undo that. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, next we're going to add the code for XAML Islands. I'm going to insert it in between the grid statements. Okay. Take a brief look at this. Now, note that we have the full name of the blank page by including the name of the class library. And this is the child changed event name. This is the method that's going to be executed. And that's what we're going to do next, is copy that method. I'm going to go to the main window.xaml.cs. We're going to insert that method. I'm going to resolve the event arcs namespace. Okay. Looks good. Okay, so let's save the changes. Then we're going to build a solution. Okay, the build succeeded. No errors, no warnings. So let's give it a run. And we have an error. XAML parsing failed. Let's look at the output. Cannot locate resource from UWP class library, my page.xaml. I'm not certain what the issue is. Anytime when it's related to XAML parsing, there's just a small issue. I'm going to stop it. There's a small issue with the XAML itself. I copied this directly from the Microsoft site, sorry, the mypage.xaml. So this is what I'm going to do. I want to see whether or not there was an error, a small issue with this XAML. So I'm just going to take it out and just rerun it. Let's see what happens. Okay, we got the exact same error. An exception of type parse exception occurred, but was not handled. We still have this specified module could not be found. Let me open this up. I believe this is the same. Come on. Okay. Sorry about that. And this is the same error. Okay, let's stop. I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to put a try-catch statement in here. Okay, I need to resolve this. Come on. Hold on. Try it again. I forget. Is this using systems? Let's try it. Using systems. Now resolve it. Okay. Now we're going to take this statement and put it in here. And I'm going to put a breakpoint on this. And I'm going to rerun it. I'm expecting to get the same thing, but what I want to do is bypass this error by trapping it. And I want to put a, let's see here. Let's put a debug statement here and continue, and then step into it and look at the message. Okay, Xaml parsing failed. Okay, so what I want to do is go to the main window.cs. I want to see if the binding is working. Okay, the message is there. So I'm going to click one step in. Okay, so the message, the binding is working. Okay, let's continue. And of course, I get a blank screen because the parsing isn't working. Okay, at this point, what I'm going to do is stop and figure out the issue or post an issue with Microsoft and see if I can get some assistance. What I'm going to do is follow up and I'll create another video and post the solution. Thank you for watching. Take care.